nothing is happening as an unfortunate accident only. There is
Indeed.
always a greater spiritual reason. And I think when we're in really tough times, it's much harder for us to see that, not so much because we're blind spiritually, but because we've been blinded as humans. And if you look at the mainstream media, I mean, I don't see great examples hardly ever in the mainstream media that are celebrating evolution. Somebody did something great. Let's talk about that. Let's unpack how wonderful this is.
Mm.
We see that around success. We're told to celebrate whatever society has decided success is. But instead, we're fed so many mm, tragic and fear based stories. And quite often, that isn't the truth. I loved recently with Burning Man. If you looked at what the mainstream media were telling you about
Yeah.
Burning Man, it
Yeah.
was a complete disaster and it was
Cannibalism
terrible.
and
Oh,
Ebola.
it was awful. Like it was
Yeah.
like a horror story.
Hmm.
And so many people were getting on that thanks to, the ability that we have with social media that people can share things. And, like the fight right now, of course, is we have to be mindful of what censorship might want to do and why censorship might want to censor people. But they were putting videos up going, yeah, some of that was happening, but also there were beautiful experiences. Our mainstream media is very low vibration. So it
Yeah.
only comes at things from that angle. And it doesn't mean you might not see an occasional story that you go, oh, that's good. But in general, it's trying to keep us all in the low.
Mm.
And I notice that whenever you hear reports of terrible things, and one of my dearest relatives who I adore will phone me or leave me, oh God, did you see what's going on?
Mm.
And I'm like, oh God, did you notice how your feelings are? I'm like,
Right.
it's okay. You don't, it's like, and I'll tease them a little bit because we're British and we can do that. But
Mm.
it is interesting to notice I think more and more people are waking up to that, which is good.
Yeah.
But that also is one of the great challenges of our time. We're in this very awkward energy battle between the old and the new. And it can make for some interesting times. But back to your question about multidimensionality, I think it's just allowing more parts of yourself, your senses, your abilities, the kind of experiences you would like to have in life to appear. And part of the reason we struggle with that in our egoic concept is we weren't raised with possibility. We were raised to believe probabilities.
Mm.
We were raised to believe you will get married, you will get a job, you will do this, then you'll retire at 65. And if you're lucky and you still got your health, you can travel around the world at 65. Well,
Hmm.
why? Why is that the track? And who decided that was the track? And why is that the only track our system has offered us? So the great news is here in 2023, we're seeing a huge divergence from that.
Yeah.
And it's more evident in the world than it's ever been. And the Z's say the further we get beyond 25 onwards, we will see increasing amounts of innovation that will be more undeniable, that will start to swing the curve. But they also say we're not out of the woods with the energetic battle, and that 2024 is a really important year. And it's not so much that they say what we do will influence the ultimate outcome, because they say that lower consciousness can't keep hold of things the way it has been trying. But what they did say is how we show up for it as a collective will
Mm.
influence the speed and ease at which that transition takes place versus how much collateral damage or whatever you want to call it has to happen along the way. And the one thing they do say a lot, which I do believe, I feel that is true, they say you often worry about what you're facing right now, but if we could show you what has been averted in the
Mm.
last 20 years, you would be shocked.
Wow.
Because they say it could have been a much darker path for humanity in the last 20 years. So they say the longer this transition goes on, the better, because the more people can wake up and go, oh, that seems like an odd thing that's going on over here. Or why did they just tell us we all have to do that? So they say that the period of time is beneficial for more people beginning to question things. And I think, for me, the ultimate is, are we part of government, or is government in charge and in control of us? And is that
Hmm.
Is that a healthy
Hmm.
future? So that's just a question I've had for years and years and years, and I watch that playing out now, and I think more people are beginning to question something that previously they either haven't had the time, the bandwidth, or the space in their fight for survival to really question. But I think when things get tight, then people start to notice, oh, this is a bit uncomfortable and a bit tight. So it's an edgy time for sure, and it's not an easy time. They say that too. But our job within it is to keep finding our center, our balance. Why are we here? What is our unique contribution to what's going on? And equally, what is our unique healing? Because
Hmm.
there are things that we're all healing personally that go into the pot of a healed collective, but
Hmm.
we're often carrying them through from other times, other lives, and coming into families where there's an ancestral pattern that some of us are here to help clear. And we aren't doing it alone, but knowing why you're here and having a sense of why is really important at the moment, while the old why that we were all fed seems very unlikely and unstable and like it's not grounded in anything. But the new reality isn't here yet. It's kind of a dysmorphic time.